What's up, everybody? This is Zips from Total Gaming Network and formerly of CS Nation. You probably don't know me. That's fine. I'm going to preface this right now by saying there's a 10% code if you use the code TGN while checking out at the EWinRacing website. You get 10% off. TGN. Pretty simple. Anyway, I'll also say that EWinRacing contacted me about doing a review for this. I said, sure, I'll give you an honest review, and this is what I'm here to do for you. They also wanted me to do a bit of an unboxing video. I've never done an unboxing video before, but I should have that up in the top right-hand corner somewhere here. I'll edit that all in post. What else? Oh, there'll also be some photographs I'll occasionally put up of the chair so you can get a better look at it, the one I made, along with some of the potential issues that I came across. But anyway, they contacted me. They were like, hey, do you want to do a review? I'm like, yeah. Okay, sure. Gave me that. They gave me the code, the TGN code, for 10% off. That's all well and good. The box got here. This big, hefty box, probably over 40 pounds. Lugged it upstairs, put it on my bed, opened it up. Inside, you'll see every component that you need. It came with the cushion, the seat cushion that, you sit your butt in. And it already had the armrest attached. That's cool. It had the back separate, 5-star aluminum base. The thing that you put the wheels in. The wheels themselves are roughly 3-inch plastic, polyurethane. I don't think they're exactly 3 inches. It came up just shy of 3 inches when I measured them, but that's fine. That's whatever. It's close enough, I'd say. They're bigger than my old chair's wheels. Let's put it that way. It also came with a class. Let me look it up. Make sure. Yes, class 4 gas lift. It supports up to 330 pounds, if I remember correctly, which is fine. That's cool. Because I got the Flash XL, one of the Flash XL chairs that they have. It's for bigger people. You could read that as fatter and taller people. I'm not exactly tall. So it worked out. Make no mistake about it, I know I'm a big guy. But these Flash XL chairs are wider, and they also go up higher and support taller people. I'm 5'11" on a good day, so I'm not exactly tall, but this chair does seem to fit me pretty well. My feet on the lowest height of the chair setting, which I'm on right now, my feet can sit on the ground, which is nice. You can lay flat. That's cool. But as far as the whole assembly process goes, it was pretty straightforward. They do include instructions in the box. They also include all the tools you will need, including things like this little hex wrench right here. They actually have 2 of these. One big one, this is the big one, and one smaller one, just so you have an idea of what you're getting. It also came with, I believe, just a couple extra screws, just in case something wasn't, as it should be. But everything seemed to have been included in the box. The wheels, the base, the hydraulic. The thing where, you have the little thing on the side of the chair where you can lock it, or if you unlock it, then you can tilt back and all that stuff. That's in there. It's also the thing that you use to raise and lower the chair. That's included. Like I said, the armrests are already attached to the base. There's also some plastic coverings that will cover the mechanism that allows you to recline the chair if you just want to recline the back a little bit or not. So those are also included. And there also is a lumbar pillow, which was attached to the back of it, as well as a head and neck pillow, which I will show you a little bit more in depth in just a second here. That's all included. So you'll see me taking those things out and putting them together off to the side here. The instructions for the assembly, I'm going to say, maybe it's my fault, maybe it's Ewin's fault. I didn't think they were all that great, only because of one thing. I'm used to just reading things left to right on each line, right? The EWinRacing assembly instructions start off left to right. Well, for you, I guess it would be going that way. Then they go down, and then they go back the other way. There are red arrows, which I kind of overlooked because I'm so just used to, left to right on each line. But these make a zigzag pattern going down the page. So that's something to keep in mind when and if you get a chair from EWinRacing. Because if you go down the second line and somebody's like, alright, I have no idea what the hell this is supposed to be, well, probably just read it the wrong way around. The assembly was pretty straightforward, though, after that. It seemed like, compared to other chairs that I've assembled in the past, it seemed like maybe there was something that I should have done before, but the instructions... I followed the instructions to a T. I had an idea of how to put the chair together, but I'm like, okay, since I'm going to be reviewing it, I'm going to follow the instructions to a T. I probably would have swapped around putting on the back and the base compared to what they have in the instructions. It just seemed like it might have been a little bit easier than how they were, or the order they had. They said to do it in, but you know, whatever. People assemble chairs all different ways. That's just my preference. So about the chair itself, like I said, it's the Flash XL series. It's a gaming chair, and people, when they talk about gaming chairs, they kind of have an idea of what gaming chairs look like. A lot of them can be really, really flashy, which, okay, that's not really me. That's never been me. I've always gone for like the plain black aesthetic in terms of like my chairs or just like my phone. My old S6. This is actually the dark blue, but you get the idea. I just like things simple. Probably even tell by my curtains over there. But I kind of like this just because it wasn't a full black chair with the Ewin logo. Wasn't a garish blue. They do have chair designs there that provide more color, but those aren't really my cup of tea. The particular one that I got is the FLB model, which again you'll see links to, and you will see as well photographs that I've taken on my chair. I think it's cool. It's got a little splash of color here and there. It's not exactly like in your face like a lot of those chairs are, but they do have chairs that will be in your face if you so choose to get them. They also have, I think, a plain they have like a black and gray, which also looked pretty good too, that I thought. Red and black in terms of this particular model look good, but I'm just not I like blue over red. That's all. Personal preference. But anyway, once you get the chair all assembled, you sit in it, and at first I hated it. I'm not gonna lie, I actually hated sitting in this chair at first, because my old chair, let me give you a little background on my old chair. My old chair was a big honkin', it is a big honkin' office chair. It's just off to the left here out of frame. It's probably, yeah, it's about as tall as this chair. It's actually wider than this chair, believe it or not. It had it was sold as a leather office chair, leather business chair or something, and it actually costs about $150. I looked it up. It's about $150 more than the Ewin gaming chair. I'm like, cool, all right. It's a leather chair. It's, you know, it should last a while. It was bonded leather. So as you'll probably see in the photos, or just single photo that I might put up, I don't know. Bonded leather tends not to be great. If you've ever bought furniture with bonded leather, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. If you've never bought furniture with bonded leather on it, don't ever buy it. It's really, really bad, because after a while, it just starts to peel. What it is, it's just like almost paper thin layer of leather on top of like fabric. They just kind of glue it on. It's like the scraps of leather that are left over from, you know, genuine leather chairs. So technically it's leather. It's just really, really crappy leather. Really crappy leather, and super, super thin. So it just started to peel, and like it's just like I noticed it one day. I'm like, what are these little things on my floor? Because the pieces would fall off my chair onto the floor, or they would like be on me, my clothing. I'm like, what's going on? It got real bad on the, you know, the actual seat part, and it started also near the base of the back on my office chair, my old office chair, to the point where I had to put a like a Carolina Panthers throw over the back of it, and also I just used a towel for the chair part so I wouldn't get stuff on me. I probably could have taken it to get, you know, redone somewhere, but I don't know of any place local that would have done it, and it would probably not have been cheap. And also just getting this big thing to and from there would have been a nightmare. So I kind of just dealt with it in the most worst way possible, probably. But other than that, it was a pretty comfortable chair up to a point. Another problem with that chair is I noticed the foam in it wasn't great. Like, the padding wasn't great. But over time, the padding in it shrink down. Okay? And it would get compressed, and it wouldn't, like, uncompress over time. It didn't spring back up. So, you know, all that comfortable padding on your back and your butt went away. It was especially noticeable in my lower back, where padding had gotten, it just was gone after a while. It was already pretty thin to begin with, but then it's just like gone. And the back of that chair is just like a hard wood, I think, that they attached the foam to, and the dual bonded leather, or the bonded leather. And so my tailbone was just up against just hardness for multiple hours a day, because, you know, I run a website, I stream, I'm in front of this computer quite often. I shouldn't be, but I am. So anybody who's ever seen me stream will probably attest to the fact that I have on multiple occasions said how much my back hurts me at times just sitting there streaming a game or something. I tried putting pillows back there, but they helped. They would always move around and stuff. So yeah, that's that chair right now. So when I got this chair, it's a different experience. And at first, like I said, I hated it. Like, what's going on? I don't like it. Like, I couldn't get a comfortable position in it. And it's probably because I was sitting in the other chair so awkwardly, I guess. You know? I don't know. I don't know what it was. It took a few days. I actually did the thing where I would sit in this chair for a little bit, and then I would swap over to the other chair for a little bit, and I did that for roughly 5 days or so until I moved fully to this chair, because at that point, I'm like, wow, this chair is actually really comfortable. And I can make it more comfortable. Like, if I need to, I could slide the lumbar pillow up and down a little bit if I need support on a particular part of my lower back. Don't put it too high, obviously, because it's for lumbar support. Lumbar's a little bit lower in the back, you know. But you can raise it up and down, and it tends to stay there. It will slide down a little bit over a while, but, you know, not too much. Also, I feel like, I don't know if you've ever heard the term butt groove, but I think that after that time, this chair started to get the whole butt groove. Like, the foam started to feel more comfortable when I was sitting in it. Instead of off of that, you know, direct from factory, you know, not broken. It wasn't broken in, I guess. The chair's not broken. It's just a matter of expression. So I'm like, yeah, okay, this is pretty good. I even came to somewhat like the armrests for it, which we'll get to in a second. But in terms of just, you know, the comfort on the back, I really enjoy it. And the lumbar pillow, along with the head and neck pillow, is supported by, you know, these elastic straps. And if you'll see over my left shoulder here, there are holes, and over my right shoulder here, there are holes that these elastic straps go through. And the lumbar pillow goes, you know, the elastic straps go up and down. There's 2 of them. These obviously go horizontal, and they wrap around the back of the chair, and you actually have a little clippy thing there. They stay in place. And I normally have this on. Because I do lean back in it and relax. But I have it off just to show you more easily that whole system. So everything stays in place, which is pretty cool. As far as the quality of the product is concerned, I did notice there were a few scuffs, I guess, on some of the. I will say this right now. It's not bonded leather. This is PU leather on both the armrests. There's a thin, like, layer of PU leather on the armrest, so it has like a soft touch feel, which is actually pretty cool. It's not like completely hard plastic. Like, you can like kind of push it down with your thumbs and you know, your arms, and it offers like a little bit of padding, but not as much as if it was like a fully cushioned armrest. So I don't know if that's gonna change your mind about things. So as far as the design goes, it's a gaming chair, you know, whatever. People make the argument, oh, you can get good lumbar supporting chairs for cheaper, good genuine leather chairs for around the same price, which, whatever. I'm not made of money. Genuine leather chairs, I did look them up for something decent. It was actually more expensive than these Ewin chairs. The chairs themselves, they are made out of cold foam, cold molded foam. Oof, tongue twister. So like it seems to be pretty durable. I did notice like after every night, it did like spring back to like original shape. Like even when I just stand up, it pops back up, so it's fine. It's also supported by some nice, like almost like bungee cords, elastic bungee cord type deals, both underneath the chair and behind the chair. So it's not like a hard backing or anything to it that you're pressing back against and compressing the foam. It's supported basically by the metal frame, and it's steel frame. Sorry, steel frame, and just those cords, which I don't know how long those last, but they seem to be doing a pretty good job. I will say of note, on the bottom of the chair, there is a metal bar, obviously, where you have to attach the hydraulic lift. And it is that metal bar, I noticed, that obviously there's no give to it. So when you're sitting in a cushion, part of the bottom of the cushion does press up pretty hard against the top of that steel bar. The top of that steel bar seems to have like ridges, which give me a little cause for concern. I don't know if over time that's going to kind of wear around or even puncture the bottom of these cushions. It's been like 2 weeks, so I don't know if that's going to be a thing or not. Excuse me, I hope it's not. That would be bad. But so far, I've checked it regularly. Trust me, it hasn't seemed to have been an issue whatsoever. One thing I did notice too is that this chair goes up to, normal chair, maybe like 90 degrees. This chair actually goes to 85 degrees. I can't imagine like leaning forward like this constantly. I don't understand what the 85-degree thing is for. It's not, certainly not for me, because man, I feel like I'm gonna be like on a roller coaster or something with this degree setting. So I typically keep it just slightly, ever so slightly reclined. So maybe 95 degrees, and I think you can go all the way down to 155 degrees. So yeah, you could basically lay almost flat in this thing, which is kind of, it's interesting at first because you're leaning all the way back in something that you were typically just sitting in. And yeah, I've taken naps in my old chair before. I love taking naps in chairs, by the way. I'll kick my feet up on my bed and sleep in my chair. But in that one, you can just go like this. So your feet were just kind of doing like one of those orthopedic bed things, which it's okay, not great. But in this one, you can have it so that you're almost laying down flat, and your feet are up on the bed at the same height. Which kind of leads me to my next issue, though. So I talked about the bottom of the cushion and that metal bar. That was one thing I was a little leery on. Another thing is the fact that, yeah, these are soft touch armrests, but they don't seem to be long enough. They are what they call 4D armrests. So, you press one button on them and you can slide them back and forward. Sure, that's cool. You press another button and you can actually move them in or out. Typically keep them out, well, I'm just sitting here. And then there's a little button on the sides that you pull up and you can adjust the height of them. So you got your up, down, front, back, left, right. And also, there's another thing. You can actually rotate them ever so slightly. There's like I don't know if you could hear that. There were like 3 different positions. So you can either have it going like perfectly parallel with the direction your chair is facing, or tilt them ever so slightly, or tilt them out ever so slightly. And both of them can do that. And I've found that just keeping them straight is pretty good. Actually, another thing with that is, whenever you grab your chair, like to move it around, like if you're in a smaller room like I kind of am, and you need to move your chair around to, say, just move around it, oftentimes you will just kind of grab the armrest, and just the force of you trying to move the chair will tilt the armrest out so that when you sit in it, you have to tilt it back in. That case, it's a bit annoying. I feel like the armrests are also too wobbly. It's not wobbling. They are attached firmly to the base of this chair, mind you. There's a steel. They're firmly in there with metal, and the screws are also pretty high quality. So it's screwed in there via metal base, metal pole through this entire armrest, attached to the metal frame of the chair. So they're firmly in there, but since the rest of it's kind of plastic and has this whole 4D thing going on, there's a lot of give to it, and so like there's a lot of rattle, and sometimes it will accidentally go in, go out. You know, they'll kind of not really move back and forward on their own because you have to push in a button for that. But I did notice that sometimes, like, if you wanna, if I'm sitting here, I don't have a lot of support on the front, even with the armrest all the way forward. If I lean back in the chair, which that's another cool feature, by the way, I still really like that. I like to move the armrest back more. But if you're like further reclined, they don't go back far enough. So like your arms are just kind of like falling off. They're not really hitting anything. I would prefer if they were a little bit longer, maybe. I would also maybe prefer if they were actually cushioned. I know the PU leather is cool and all, and that is far better than just having hard plastic. Trust me, I had chairs with hard plastic armrests before. They suck. They just rub against your elbows and everything. But I don't know. I would have preferred something more cushiony. Again, it's probably because my last chair had them. Even if it is that bonded leather crap. My armrests on my old chair were far more cushiony than these are. And they went all the way to the back of the chair, which I get that you can't really do that with this chair because of the fact that it reclines, the back reclines separate from the tilt mechanism. But I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I don't know what the solution would be to fix something like that. I graduated with an accounting degree, so I could probably say that it wouldn't be an inexpensive fix. But that's just my opinion. I feel like the plastic coverings on the mechanism that do the tilt thing on both the left and the right, they seem a little like cheap. I mean, they're just plastics, and sometimes they kind of rattle around. And they kind of like rotate just a little bit. But I mean, they're there and they cover up the guts of the tilting mechanism. So I mean, it's not something you're going to be paying much attention to after you've completed putting your chair together. Also, I did notice too that the armrests, when they were attached to the base of the chair underneath, one armrest was closer to the inside of the chair than the other one was. So that wasn't a big deal. That's just something during the the assembly process before it gets shipped out to you, that I took a look at the bottom of the chair, and I had to fix. I just moved the one out so it was the same length or the same distance as the one on the other side. Not a big deal. Like I said, the whole gaming aesthetic is probably not for everybody. I don't do the whole fancy schmancy. I'm not a gamer. I don't consider myself a gamer, even though I run a video game focused website and play games a lot. But I really do enjoy this chair. And like I said, I know this is going to be for everybody. And that's cool. I mean, you do you. But in terms of the price, like this thing is normally $480, it looks like. So still cheaper than the near 600 some that that my stupid dual bonded leather was. Oh, that reminds me too. I don't think I've ever had a PU leather chair. I went from a fabric desk chair to the bonded chair to my left here to this one. So I don't know how sturdy PU leather is. I was doing some research on it. I understand it's not as durable as genuine leather would be, but it's far more durable than, say, bonded leather is, which honestly, that's fine by me. It's also very easy to clean up if things spill on it. I haven't spilled anything on this thing. Sat in it. It's gotten a bit warm, so my legs are a little bit sweaty. enjoy that TMI. But there was no marks or anything from my sitting in it. It didn't seem like there's any like creases, like permanent creases or anything. There were a few scuffs that I noticed unboxing it, which may have come during shipping, may have come from the manufacturer of it. I don't know, so I can't really say, oh, it's from the manufacturing process, blah, blah, blah. So I can't really knock them for that, because that could have definitely come during shipping. I mean, it's a big freaking box, and who knows what it goes through on the way here. The scuffs I noticed were on the back of the chair. I think I have a photograph of it, which I'll show. But yeah, it wasn't really anything terrible. At least nothing that I'm gonna lose my mind over. Yeah, it's a pretty dang comfortable chair. I am comfortable taking naps in this chair, like I was my old chair. I am comfortable. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. I do like, I said, the 4D thing is pretty cool because I can put my armrests down a bit to get on the same level as my mouse, which is lower than my other desk because I have it on a table next to me. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I think that might do it. I might have a bit more in my write-up on my website. Not that I'm promoting my website or anything, totalgamingnetwork.com, for your total gaming needs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything else for me to talk about here. It seems well assembled. You got your Ewin logo there, and the cushion. I think it's also on the lumbar support and on the back of the chair. It seems to be stitched on. It's well stitched. Yeah, so the only things I really have cause for potential concern is the durability of PU leather, the elastic bands underneath the chair, and the metal bar digging into the bottom of the cushion. Those are things that I might come back to. We'll see if any of them caused or were actual cause for alarm in the future. But that's it right now. I have no concerns. Oh, there was one more good thing too. My old chair had the 5-star base of my old chair for the wheels, which, by the way, the wheels on my last chair are, I'm going to say, around half the size of the wheels on this chair. So these are a lot more easy to roll around, which is pretty cool. But there is a catch with that. When I first got this chair, the center of this chair, where the hydraulic lift goes into the metal bar, the center of it is a bit more back from the front edge of this chair than my old chair was. So it's not exactly center of mass for this chair. So when I tried rolling forward the first few times, I thought I was going to just flip forward because the chair would actually started to tilt a little bit forward. But that is definitely something you get used to. I mean, you don't get used to the tilting. You get used to where the center of mass is, and you don't tilt forward anymore when you're trying to, wheel yourself forward. It's another thing too with the 5-wheel base. It seems to be rounded edges, where the wheels are, which is really nice because if you've ever had a chair that has like really wide 5-wheel base, you're moving forward maybe in your bare feet and the edges aren't rounded, you might have encountered a situation like I have on my old chair where the edges aren't rounded and they're very sharp and they like to stick out from the bottom of the chair when you're wheeling around, where, hey, you're gonna cut the back of your feet and man is it gonna hurt. I've done that way too many times over the years with my old chair because I'm just trying to pull myself forward with my feet and the back of my foot encounters the edge of the 5-wheel base and whoo. Yeah, sucks. This one's rounded, so there's very, very little chance of that happening. Also, because it's set back further in the chair than, directly centered, there's less chance of that happening too. Which is, maybe that's why they did it. I don't know. But it's just something to get used to. That's all. I feel like it's very durable. Good chair. Code TGN. I've covered all the bases, right? Yeah. I mean, get your ailerons or whatever they are from IKEA. Do whatever. You do you. It's your genuine leather chairs that are equivalent or more, but as far as I'm concerned, this is pretty comfortable. And at the price, pretty good. So, yeah, outside of the few issues I mentioned already, it's getting a thumbs up. I don't do a thumbs up rating system, but it's getting the thumbs up for me. I believe I'm giving it like a 4 out of 5 just because of the armrests and the few scuffs here and there. But yeah, it's good chair. Good chair. Good job, Ewin. Good job, Ewin. And thanks for the review opportunity, honestly. It actually came at a good time. My old chair's, well, she's looking sad. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching this. This has gone on for way too long, but I hope I was in depth enough through all my stumbling. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you have any more questions that I didn't cover here or on in the YouTube comments, then come to my website. Come on down. And then go to the EWinRacing website, EWinRacing.com. Like I said, there's a link, there's a short link in the description below. Kind of it. This is my first chair review and first chair unboxing. That's cool, right? I was told to make this review as in-depth as possible, and I think I did it. I did it. Nailed it.